subscribe to the channel. So this morning, I wanted to focus on certain mistakes that people will make when it comes to filing their documents. In addition, and when I say filing their documents, I mean with immigration, or even in terms of your general court cases, things that you will do which will not help your case. So if you have a question this morning, you can actually call in at 718-502-9137. You can also text your question this morning to 718-502-9137. And it is the same number you would call during the week to make an appointment. So let's look at simple mistakes that people will do when it comes to their documentation. All right, so let's start with people with convictions. If you have ever been arrested and you have an immigration case that you are going to file, one, prior to even submitting your documents, I would recommend you speak to an attorney, review your disposition. Caller, you are on the air and you are live.
Good morning, Sandra. Sorry about that. I was just calling to find out if you're on the air because I'm trying to get on and I can't get on to hear you.
Yes, I'm here. Is it that you're not hearing me?
No, I'm not hearing anything.
Oh.
No, let me try again.
Okay. Are you seeing me though?
No, nothing.
I am live. All right. So let me try and find out. I'll ask my moderator what's going on. All right. But I am live, my love.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Okay.
All right. Are you, for the people who are actually speaking in the live, are you able to hear me? All right. So Amarilla says he can't hear me. Good. I don't know what's going on with her devices, but she can't hear me. All right. So one of the things you should do if you have a criminal disposition, speak to an attorney to review that disposition with you. I've had clients who come in and I cannot put in an application for them, right? Because it's either it's a one-way ticket. Anyone with an aggravated felony, it's a one-way ticket for you to return to your home country. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna put it in. Some people, their dispositions are such that it's, even though it's not a one-way ticket, they may not be eligible for a waiver. So we're just not even going to touch it. But I think you should review your disposition with an attorney. All right, so when you are having cleared your disposition, and it is something that either if it's deportable, you can get a waiver, or if you're inadmissible because you're just looking the green card and you're eligible for a waiver, ensure your dispositions are certified. I think during COVID, what was happening was people weren't feeling seals. I know if you're looking to get a deed for your premises, the city registry does this now. And I think because some judges aren't aware, they're not like putting the seal, and it's very annoying. So I just staple my receipt to the deed if I am looking to put it into evidence. But with your criminal dispositions, you must get certified dispositions. It does not make any sense. You are going to delay your case because you have to now go ahead and you have to get a certified disposition, right? 1 second. All right. So good morning, Statius. Good morning, Trevor, June, and Melanie. All right. So, yes, June, boy. Nothing like June to be the record keeper. Yes, June. I was a bit late this morning, but I'm not going to carry you guys over 10 a.m. I know you all have stuff to do. All right. So that's the dispositions. It must be certified. Your birth certificates, when you're going before an actual officer, can I be walking with a copy of your birth certificate? It has to be the original or it must be a certified copy. Now, one of the things that you must be aware of is each country at time will update their birth certificates. So if it is that your birth certificate, for example, in Jamaica, depending on when you were born, like someone as old as me would have had the white birth certificate. That is no longer used by immigration. They want that multicolored birth certificate that the Registrar General Department is actually using or they're issuing now. So you have to look at in terms of your identity documents, the birth certificates, the marriage certificates. You have to ensure that it is in an acceptable form that is accepted by immigration. Because you walk in with that old time birth certificate, here you go, you're gonna get a requisition. And one of the things is if your officer is not very like proactive or he has waited so long for this birth certificate, he has forgotten the file. What's going to happen, unfortunately, is sometimes you get a very slow response to the adjudication, and I mean the final adjudication of your case, because you were not prepared. So this is why I am encouraging all the viewers, ensure that your documentation is up to date. With your divorces, I want to encourage you, if you're in a jurisdiction, a country that deals with the NISI and the absolute, your NISI does not divorce you. You have to get the absolute. And the reason for this is some people change their mind. I think in my entire history of doing divorces, I had two clients that got back together. Or I know for me, sometimes if they come in and just by having a conversation, it's obvious if they're the ones who purport to file, they want to file their divorce. And it is clear they are not at a stage that they are ready to file. I will not file it, right? Because it doesn't make sense that you're not sure or you're coming back to me later. You want to stop the divorce. You just wasted your time, my time, and no refunds. Yeah, you just wasted monies. So I want to encourage people, especially people who are going through a hard time in their marriage, but it is a marriage that can be saved. Not every marriage can be saved, but yours is such, because I find that people will come and they'd look to get divorced for the dumbest reasons. It just absolutely does not make sense. And for some of them, I would encourage them, go home, go work it out with their spouse. You know, I don't know what you think is on the outside. There's nothing really out there, right? So this is not the time to find yourself single where people are not sure about their sexuality. It is a scammer game. This is not the time. So if you are in a marriage that can be savage, especially when you have kids, this is not the time to be in the streets, to be what I think the young people call to be outside. This is not it, right? But if you're in a jurisdiction that deals with both the NISI and the absolute, for example, Jamaica does, most Caribbean islands, we do a NISI and an absolute, some African countries, we do the NISI and the absolute. Make sure someone comes to you and they say that they are divorced and they present you with a NISI. Do not accept that document. Immigration is not accepting that. That a NISI doesn't terminate your marriage. a decree absolute does. But if you're in New York really doesn't have no time to waste. And then I give period. For example, Jamaica gives a 6 week period so that you can possibly reconcile and stop everything if you want. New York just goes straight. You want a divorce, you submit the papers, you get a divorce. And that's the reality. So for some people, it is a one-shot deal. You put in your documents, the person is served, they either sign off on that affidavit, they have received the documents and they're waiving that time to file. Straight shooters, just go straight ahead, just go and file for your divorce. So this